Hey everyone, greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Timeless Gamer Show. Hey, we are in season 12 already. Can you believe that? Where our games and our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain timeless. And for all of our old videos, you can still check them out by going to our YouTube channel. That's Timeless Gamers Show. Or you can also go to our website, timelessgamers.com, and you can also listen to us talk just going to the all major audio streaming platforms out there by just typing in Timeless Gamer Show. So we would like to take this opportunity to show our appreciation to BitMap Books and Streamyard for allowing us to be one of their official affiliates, and to our Retromancy cohorts there, Studio.ph and Shuffle Emporium, and of course our friends out there, Sega Mega Masters Podcast, and the Retro Gamers and Collectors of the Philippines. So previously in the Thomas Gamer Show, back on our season 11 finale, we talked about all sorts of puzzle games. And if you're curious about what happened on that discussion, you know what to do. For this season 12 premiere, we are doing rhythm video games as spearheaded by Miss I down there. And as introduced the panel for tonight, we got Sir Joel of Banyagang Native coming from New Jersey. Sir Joel.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. This is Joel of the Banyagang Native Facebook page, Twitch and Kick.com, welcoming you to our episode here discussing rhythm games. And like my caption says, Rhythm's Gonna Get You by Gloria Estefan. Back to you, Joel.
Rhythm's Gonna Get Ya. And from the east, flying to the west, we got Sir Jose from Dark Gothic Fate. Sir Jose, say hello to the peeps.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me on this episode.
Alrighty. And of course, the show captain for tonight, we got Miss Anson Porter.
Hey everyone, welcome to our podcast for tonight, and it's about rhythm games and all the various games we have played over the years on various platforms. And we hope you join our discussion on the comments. Type in your own favorite games. Maybe we haven't heard of them, or maybe it's something we share. Go type.
That new microphone really does sound good.
It does, really.
Thank you for the white snowball.
Thank you, Jose, for the microphone.
All thanks to Sir Jose right there. All right. So before we head to the show topic, let's do gaming news. So what's bothering the gaming community as of late? Sir Joel, what do we got?
The most recent gaming news isn't really directly gaming news related, but recently, as in like yesterday, if I remember correctly, the Internet Archive is down, as in it's inaccessible right now. Nobody can reach it. Nobody can find any information on it, and details on it are very sparse. There's really not much news on why it is inaccessible. Rumor has it that there has been a breach or a hack that happened, and that's why the admins have decided to make the entire site inaccessible, which is a terrible blow to everybody, not just gamers, but also people who are looking for information and people who want to use the Wayback Machine. It is a specific tool on the Internet Archive for you to be able to look at how web pages looked back in the day, or if you wanted to take a snapshot of what your web page looked like. So it is a very bad situation overall for all of us who are looking for amazing resources when it comes to past knowledge of gaming, like old video game magazines, old CDs of how things looked like back then. The Internet Archive being down is a terrible thing, and we very much hope that it comes back up soon. Some people have termed the Internet Archive as the 8th modern wonder of the world, and let's hope it gets fixed. You don't know how important something is until the day that you can't reach it, or you don't have it anymore. That's our gaming news for the week.
For all of you gamers out there, in terms of gaming preservation, that's the go-to place that we have. If that is down, then we're fucked. I mean, it's not like we can send our old video games up there in space.
It's true. It's basically the place you go to check out how things were way back in the day, and for the less official things, we that's kind of where we go to. I mean, heck, we want to buy this stuff. They just don't want to sell it to us, so we just find other ways to get them. And the Internet Archive was our general way getting them. Sad to say, it's currently unavailable. Hopefully, it comes back. Anyway, let's continue.
Hopefully it comes back. All righty. Thank you for that, Sir Joe. And that's it for our gaming news. And there are a lot of gaming news. Well, more announcements, really. A bunch of games just got released for the last couple of weeks. But more on to that later. So, what we'll do next is our show and tell. In this segment of the show, we will just, as the name suggests, we will just show and tell all of the physical and digital stuff that we just acquired for the last few days. Not necessarily gaming, could be anything, could be pop culture, nerdy related.
It could be a book. It could be a vinyl record that you just got off of a flea market. Anything that relates to pop culture, video gaming culture, anything that you think is neat or cool. Show it. Describe it for the audio audience. See if anybody says that is nice. I'm gonna have to look around for that too. So, who wants to begin?
Who wants to begin? You got any, Miss I?
Just the one actually,
Mhm.
because my controller broke for the computer, my generic Xbox controller. So I made it as an excuse to buy. I'm not sure if you can see it here.
Hi, Miss Eileen. Come on.
Oh my!
That's not. We don't need an excuse just to buy that.
Come on.
Let me remove my background.
Just
So
buy
I
it.
bought a Switch controller. I do not even have a Switch, but
Mm.
because you can use it on the computer with
Mm.
a USB wire, I found it useful and maybe a motivation to get my own Switch someday. But then it gets confusing because the X here is the Y, the Xbox controller. It gets confusing sometimes, but I guess it's just muscle memory when I play the games. I don't need to look on the controller. And as well, my brother actually just bought a what do you call this? A Nintendo Switch. So I was just playing earlier with him and my sister-in-law, and we played something, the three of us. It's so fun having this controller because not only can you use it on the computer, but join someone else play on their Switch. It's very useful and really fun, socializing with family and friends.
Very
And
cool.
what are your picks or show and tell?
Very cool.
All right.
I do remember there being a PS5 version of the Son Goku colors, and I really wish I'd gotten that. Yeah, there was the PS4 version of it. Sorry, I wish I'd gotten that one. But yeah, that looks really cool. My generic Xbox controller is just the old black. And if I can find that, I'll probably get it.
I was actually looking at this for like 2 years. I was looking on the shelf. You'll get that someday. And now I found an excuse. I got it now. Yay!
Very cool. All right. That is Miss Eileen's show and tell. Joe, you want to go with yours?
With mine, I got a few.
A few. Okay.
I got a few. So I just went to our from our CEX just a couple of days ago, and I still got a $200 voucher from my birthday, and I forgot that I had that. So I cashed it in. So I got Dragon Quest 6 Realms of Reverie now
Nice.
edition.
Mm.
I had to make sure that the manual is in there.
Now,
I mean,
yeah.
ain't no point getting a physical game without the manual, guys.
Yeah, so
True.
says Viraj Kathwadia, our co-host here. Sad to
Okay.
say he can't make it.
Not
But, you
even
know,
worth it. Okay. So
Yeah.
this is still one. This is still one of those Dragon Quest games that you still fight on a first-person view. I have problems with that. I like my RPGs where you can actually see your characters fighting. But um, eventually I'll get into that. The other one I got was, and this is a rare game, and I've been searching for this for a while. Fragile Dreams for the Nintendo Wii. Got it from CAX as well.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
As a
Yeah,
manual.
Either.
Same.
So
First time
Fragile
hearing it.
Dreams. It's a rare Nintendo Wii game. It's an action RPG. Also not my typical kind of game, but because it's one of the few RPG exclusives for the Wii, I said, hey, might as well get it. And I saw this on the shelf. The rare games that CAX usually keep on the shelf, those are the ones that those are the ones that they really keep the price real high. And it was only like 130 Australian dollars. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh shit, I've been looking for this game for a while. And I'm like, I went straight to eBay.
Mhm.
And I'm like, and what eBay was offering was $150 at best. And if you're going to order that from the UK, I'm like, plus shipping, it's $130 here. Might as well. It's already here. I can see it. It's right there, staring at me, and I'm staring it back. So you know what? Might as well. I got it, and I asked the clerk about that fragile. Excuse me, Mike. About that fragile dreams out there at the back. Does it have the game manual? Oh yeah, Mike. Here it is, Mike. It's all in box, Mike. So yep, got it. $130. And then of course, it's one of those times when
You guys really punctuate your sentences with might all the time.
I really don't. I mean, I don't really get the Australian accent down. It still sounds a little bit British.
There are a lot of times that you have to talk about things like that.
I have to talk about.
It's okay.
About it, baby.
And trying to keep the theme on the show. I saw this as well on the shelf. Final Fantasy
Ooh, that's nice.
Theatrhythm Curtain Call. It's one of those instances that by doing this show, I am getting too exposed to whatever games my co-panelists suggests to me. I mean, if it's not Chrono Trigger and Phantasy Star 4 or Lufia coming from Sir Dan, whether it's Snatcher being suggested by Sir Viraj, whether it's Yakuza or farming games as suggested by Sir Joel, hey, Miss I convinced me to try some rhythm games. And I chose this one. Hey, I'm an RPG guy. And it says right here, Rhythm meets RPG in Quest Medley mode. So, hey, let's try it. And you know what? I'm liking it so far, but more on this game later.
Perfect choice.
Yeah, I love those games.
And I've been searching for this one as well. Unfortunately, there's no PAL release. And the American version is almost as expensive as a heart or a kidney. Operation Darkness for the Xbox 360. It's an exclusive for the Xbox 360. Think Valkyria Chronicles, but with Hitler, like actual Hitler and magic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are familiar with Valkyria Chronicles, it plays somewhat exactly like it. Rather than go,
there you go. It's showing off his. There you go.
How much did you pay for that?
No,
I'm curious.
No, I bought this from Best Buy for $40.
Fuck you.
Years ago.
Fuck you, $40. Ain't no way that's $40. Hang on. What year did you buy?
This was like more than 10 years ago.
There you
Oh,
go.
there
That's
you
it.
go.
He got it
Fuck
on
you,
the
withdrawn.
curve.
Fuck you, withdrawn. Ain't no way that's $40 now. No, what I mean, why is it a big deal? It plays, like I mentioned, it plays like Valkyria Chronicles, like World War II setting. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sir Jose. But
Oh,
rather than you moving your characters like freely in Valkyria Chronicles, they move in a grid strategy tactical situation. Okay, you can use some guns, got some bayonet knives, all that, grenades, all sorts of weapons, and I believe you can also use magic on this.
yeah.
Um, Now, the reason why I bought the Japanese copy is that there's according to the forums, if you cannot afford getting the US version, you can always get the Japanese version for cheap if you're gonna order it from Japan. Why? Because this has full English support. It has Japanese text in the game manual and the cover, but if you play the game, and I can attest to this, everything's in English. So it doesn't really matter if you don't really read the manual or anything like that. The tutorial is everything's in English. The dubbing they do talk in Japanese, but hey, I'm a JRPG player. I usually go with the Japanese dub anyway. As long as there's full English support, I'm good. And of course, just came out a couple of days ago. Metaphor Ray Fantasio for the PS5, coming from Atlas. Been hearing a lot of good reviews, and the only reason I bought this day one, it's only because it's an Atlas game, and Atlas games and Falcom games here in Australia. If you don't buy them in during their first 6 months of release, they are gone. So regardless of how much they're being charged at, just just buy it reluctantly. Just buy it. Okay. That's all for me.
That can actually be gaming news too, Joe, because word is that Metaphor, is that right? The title of the game
Metaphor.
has sold 1 million copies on day one. So that's
I'm
really
the millionth one.
There you go. Yeah, it's I guess people will buy something that looks like it's quality. All right, so very quickly in my case, just a couple of things. This past week, nothing too fancy. Joe has overwhelmed us with his purchases. For me, it's just I just got 2 games. Let me just turn off my virtual background. All right. So, first game that I got is I've noticed one thing about me. I like, despite the fact that I've started to get into racing games, I like my racing games with a story in them, like the crew, the crew calling all units. This one I got Need for Speed Carbon Greatest Hits version for PS3. I've heard that this racing game has a very good story to it, and that's why I decided to get it. Just recent Amazon Prime Day exclusive deal, and this one I have no idea what it's about, but I do like the artwork of
Tales
it.
of Toyotoki.
Tales from
Visual
Toyota
novel?
of the Witch. It looks like it is a visual novel kind of game. When I showed it to my daughter Alexandria, she liked the artwork too. So she and I are really looking forward to giving this a playthrough, and then we'll see whether or not it's going to live up to the visual hype, shall we say? Because we like how it looked. It looks like the gameplay is going to be very visual novel-like. So a good thing about it, Alexandria does like reading. So it's going to be it might be a good experience for us together. Anyway, that is my show and tell for the week. Back to you, Joe.
All righty. Do you have anything for us, Sir Jose?
Yeah, I do. Well, I ordered these a long time ago, but being the company that it is, it takes forever to get here. I got these soundtracks for some Ninja Turtle games.
Oh,
you can't really see it.
Very
what
good.
is that?
This is a cassette. I
Oh
bought.
fuck!
I bought
Oh, what is a cassette, sir?
a cassette. A cassette is this device you used to stick in a magic box in the 80s, and it played music.
Cassette? What the fuck is a
50-50
cassette?
chance
Right?
there would be a 50-50 chance that the machine would eat the tape. Anyway.
Oh my god, that was the worst.
Could
Same
you
thing with the
explain
VCR.
that to Gen Z people like me and Sir Joel?
Yeah. And I also got the CD. I actually ordered because they did all the
A
turbo games.
CD,
Yeah, they did the cassette, a CD, and the vinyl. So
a
they're slowly
vinyl.
coming in. Yeah, everything before everyone's time here. And then the only other thing I have, my wife picked this up for me because she saw it and she knew I wanted it. Is Silent Hill 2.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Okay,
So
very cool.
I'm looking forward to that because I love
Is
the
that
original.
is that the original PS1 Silent Hill or
No, this on PS5.
the
No,
remake?
that's the
Oh,
remake,
Yeah,
the
the
Silent Hill
remake.
2
the
remake. Yeah.
remake.
Yeah, so
The
I didn't
remake.
even know it was out.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know it was out.
Ooh.
Tuesday it came out.
Oh, you know what? Because Metaphor took all of the spotlight. That's why.
That's likely it. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, very cool, Jose. Nice. Very, very cool. Okay, so back to our show, Captain.
So we're now
Okay,
tossing it
so
to Miss I and her rhythm game and a little bit of introduction about this. So so we got season 12 already, and we always have the rhythm games always in the background. Okay,
true.
it's been in the back burner for so long, and it's a long time coming for rhythm games to be discussed on the show. Heck, we've been doing this show for 3 years, and now we're just doing rhythm games. How could we, right? But unfortunately, rhythm games is indeed very musical. All right, we might be to the visual watchers of the show. We might be showing some video game footages. However, because of copyright possibility of us YouTube striking us for music infringement and all that, we will just show the video gameplay. We cannot really play the music per se. All right. So even for all of the audio listeners out there, hopefully you might be familiar with some of the games that we're going to discuss, and if you're not, then hopefully us describing the game and the gameplay should be enough for you to check these games out. So, Miss I, go on ahead.
So before we begin our episode, let's say hi to our viewers on the comments. First of all, hi mom, she's there as
Hi,
always.
mom.
Mom.
Um,
And hi Charlene, one of our former podcast members, panelist. She is here as a rhythm gamer, and she really makes lots of good examples down there on rhythm games. And our regular Baruna Roy Kahigami, welcome to the show. And also another regular, Marlon Hurtado Eliscupides. Hi, welcome po. Welcome to the show. Oh yes, Basta Groove. And you will hear about that later. So for tonight, our episode is rhythm game. So what is rhythm? What is a rhythm game? Well, basically, it's a music themed action video game where there are prompts that the player follows, and it is usually based on accompanying music. I say usually because there are actually some games that do not make use of music for the players to follow. So each of us has chosen two games, and we will focus on one main game and maybe the speed round of the second one. Who would like to go first, or should I do the honors?
Yeah, go on ahead. Yeah. Oh, you know
So
what? Let's do Sir Jose first.
okay.
yes,
You put me on the
do the
spot.
honors.
All right. So for my rhythm game, I actually chose Bust a Groove 2.
There you go.
Ah, a
Um
man of culture, right there.
this is like one of my favorite games. Me and my friend used to play that all for hours on end. Played through every stage, played through every song. Buster Groove 2 is an actual it's interesting game where it's classified as a rhythm game but also as a fighting game. So you pick a character and you go up against another character and their theme song, and there's like Eileen said, there's button prompts that you have to do in beat to the music. So it's always different types of music. There's like hip hop, there's disco, there's pop, there's rock. It's just all kinds of different genres. And in the game, you can actually do attacks to mess the other person up, and then you can also dodge them if you're quick enough. But I chose the second one because the second one has, yeah, there we go. Has I feel like it has better music. I have lots of memories with the first one, but the second one is the one that really shines for me. So yeah, like, and then there's like all kinds of crazy stuff that happens in the background. So depending on how good you play, more and more crazy stuff will happen on screen. So it's a really fun game. If you guys haven't tried it, you guys should. The first one is a good starting point. The second one is even better. There is a third one, but we don't talk about the third one because the third one is not.
There's a third one?
Yeah, there's a third one.
I did not know
When?
there's a third one.
It's on the PS2.
How?
It's on the PS2. It's called Dance Summit 2001.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Changing the name does not help, guys.
Yeah, and there's all the characters are gone, and it's like team based. It's really weird.
Changing
What's
the
the
core
point?
video game that does not help either, guys.
Yeah. So
All right. So who's your favorite? Who's your favorite dancer?
my favorite dancer. Ooh. I feel like everyone says Kitty In, but
Yes.
I like
Yes.
I like picking
Yes.
Shorty too, because when you get to the end of one of her combos, how Columbo pops up and he dances alongside her. But Gideon probably has like the best song in both games.
Doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Yes, she does. Mm-hmm. Nice to the eyes to look at as well. Any particular music track that you prefer?
Ooh,
Like even without playing the game, every once in a while, you just play it, and
yeah, I
plus a
do.
groove
I
yourself.
actually do have both soundtracks on my phone, so they pop up from time to time.
There you go.
But from Buster Groove 2, I really like Happy Heart in the Sunshine, Shorty's theme.
Shorty. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite ones.
All right. I remember this game because I remember we had this broad newspaper back then, and there's a poem would in the game tips, and it's always being suggested on how to pull off the special, especially the dance game. So, I'm curious and what came first. Just I couldn't find first, I bought it first. And when I tried it, I'm like, I got a little confused on how to do on how to get it on with the beat because you're listening to the music and you're looking at the buttons out there in the screen, and at first I thought, okay, should I and the buttons, they also light up, right? So, as
Yeah.
you can see there. And I'm like, should I just match the lighting? So every time it lights up, I should press a button. So I did that, and for some reason I cannot really get into it. I keep missing the buttons. I keep missing the timing. And then I started listening to the music itself. I keep listening to the beat, and then I realized when the beat goes do 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 do, the lights up, the light flashes. So it's according to the beat. Okay, so I just ignore the flashing lights and I just listen to the beat itself, and then I press the buttons accordingly depending on how fast the beat is. Sometimes depending on whose character, whose stage you're on, the song can go really fast, annoyingly fast, or it can go really annoyingly slow. Right? Who has the fastest? Robo Z or Capoeira?
I think Panders is faster in part 2.
Oh shit, Pantera. Yeah. Pantera. And who has the slowest?
Oh,
Is it Burgo?
It might be.
Burgo from Buster Move 1, Buster Groove 1.
Oh, I
Is it
think
Burgo?
No, I think it's Kelly has the
Kelly,
slowest one.
the closest one. How about Frida? Frida's pretty much okay.
Yeah, Frida's okay. Yeah, it's
Frida's pretty much
normal.
average. Yeah. I'd say if you're going to play this one, guys, I'd say I will not suggest like the slow ones because even the slow ones can get really annoying.
Yeah.
I'd say KTN is very beginner friendly, and I'm not saying this because I'm a KTN simp. Okay, uh, yeah, yeah, she's there. I mean, all right. As a fan service point of view, yeah, she's there. But her music is not so fast, not so slow. It's just right. How about you, Sir Joel? Have you heard or played Bust the Groove one or two?
Oh, I played I played it a couple of times. I like the mechanics. I like the idea that it's a combination rhythm and fighting game. But again, I am, there. I'll be the very first to admit that I'm absolutely crap at rhythm games. So I've kind of let my brother Eric be the guy who has rhythm, who actually played it, and I enjoyed watching it. And I like the music tracks too. Actually, that's one thing about rhythm games in general. The music tracks, they're banging. It's just sad that this episode, because of how restrictive YouTube and other platforms are in playing music, that we can't play the music. So I would suggest for those of you who are listening in right now on the audio podcast or watching along with us and our replay later on, if you want, you can queue up the music of the particular game that we are describing right now, that you guys are seeing on screen or listening to us describe in the audio podcast, and listening as a background track to what we are talking about right now, so that you can at least see or hear, what the music feels like, because it's an integral thing about rhythm games, that the music plays into the feel of the game itself. So in this case, with Bust a Groove, they have some really awesome tracks. I've watched my brother play through them. They're great. This game, solid, and amazing game. Great suggestion, Jose.
How about you, Miss I? Have you heard or definitely you have heard of it? Have you played it? No.
Oh yes, I have the first one. I actually have. If anybody remembers, I showed this maybe one of our most recent episodes. Got this from my trip in Malaysia,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's from a retro store, and I got it for cheap there. Forgot how much, but it isn't as expensive if bought from overseas. So Jose knows that my favorite is Hero, and I love his song Natural Playboy because I like upbeat music compared to slow ones. And maybe just a surprise, I actually like is the hamburger guy. I forgot the name. I like his song. It's very. It kind of represents the 90s era of music somehow. I like the groove of the song in his stage. And by the way, we know it's Bust a Groove, but in Japan it's Bust a Move.
Yes.
It doesn't. Can you see there? It's Bust a Move in Japan, but overseas it's Bust a Groove. Not
Why
sure
did
why
they
they
change the
changed
name?
it, or maybe
mean-
just for
I think
Is it because of the?
puzzle game.
Is it because of the puzzle game Buster
Yeah,
Move?
Yeah,
or
they didn't
Buster-
want to confuse the players.
yeah
with the game. Yeah.
title.
Yeah. So that's Buster Groove 2 for the original PlayStation, brought to you by Sir Jose right there. Awesome choice, awesome choice. How about Miss I? What you got?
So I'm gonna go with something maybe less. Uh, I don't think even less. It's quite unknown, relatively unknown in the West. The game is called Dankira, Boys Be Dancing. It is a rhythm game by Konami, and it was released on mobile in 2019. It used to have live service, but just after a year, or maybe less than a year, the service was ended, and it's now actually free, the entire game. But you have to install it through the app QApp, QUOO8PP app, and well, it makes use of APK, something like that. There, that's Dankira. So this game, you play or choose different teams of students in the Benizuru Academy. and challenge others in a dankira battle, as you see there. So
Oh,
dankira actually
Alexandria will
stands
like
for
this.
dance.
Holy
It is
shit!
actually fun because it is part. What makes this game unique is it is partly visual novel. It isn't just a rhythm game. What
you,
makes
you
this
know what?
game fun is that
Continue, continue. Oh my god!
I'm laughing because we're just laughing. It's actually it can be quite hilarious sometimes, and that's just no. That's not even the hilarious parts. That's still
Oh, oh, it's not. No.
tame.
Okay, could have fooled me. It's not.
That's still
No, no,
tame
continue.
because there are actually different dance styles in this game. So there's hip hop, ballet, jazz, martial arts, and vogue and breakdancing.
Vogue,
So I'm not sure what. Yes, there's vogue. With the
Vogue,
hands
like
thingy.
like Madonna Vogue.
There is vogue there, and even with the sitting down and yes, there's vogue there. And there's each team has their own themes and each accompanying music. So each team I think has two two theme songs based on their dance styles. This team we see here is actually a mixture of three different groups. You can actually mix them up, but the team is usually consisted of three dancers. So while there are default team members, like I said, you can mix them up. And as you progress through the game and use your mixture of characters, eventually their relationship grows. Now I'm laughing because it's repeating.
Now you're laughing. Well, I cannot find
It's
any other
becoming a
footage other
movie.
than this. Unfortunately, I'll try to look, but I think this is it. Yeah, this
It's
is
like
it.
it's
This is
becoming
it.
a meme in itself
No, no,
because
continue.
this now I can't contain myself. Sorry for our viewers and audio listeners. Okay, I'm gonna cover that part of the screen so it doesn't distract me. Because the game is actually fun. This is just part of the game, but it doesn't show the actual gameplay. I
No,
wish
no, it's
I
not.
found the
It-
different, the
Don't let the
different
dancing guys
what you call
distract
this,
you guys.
different footage because it's not supposed to be just like that. There
Oh,
are
it's not.
like I said, the dance killer tricks. Yes, there is supposed to be like an HUD there where you
Hang on.
see their health, I think.
You know what?
Then cards.
Is there
Is there
any
really no
other?
other?
Hang
No,
on.
I'm
Continue,
finding some.
continue. I'll look for other footage than this.
Quick question, Miss I. What kind of music does it have? Is it J-pop? Is it is it slow beats? I mean, like is it
Holy shit!
recognized? What
It
kind
got
of
worse.
music does the game have?
That's Vogue. That one. So
Hmm.
there's the musical
Oh,
or instrumental music, and there are also Japanese and English songs. And I
there
hope
you
they
go.
don't copyright strike us because I'm not sure
You
how
know what?
it's
Is it? You know what? This
nowadays.
is better than Ray Gun's performance in the Olympics, though.
Oh my Reagan, no. So this
No, it's
one
going to
is in
break that.
Japanese. Then there are English songs, instrumental music, and they actually released a soundtrack for this game. What's fun is also you collect cards of these different characters, and as you level up those cards, your team and your player or dancer becomes more powerful. And there are three types of dance killer trick attacks. There's body, strength, was it? I forgot. Body, spirit, and technique. And you need to know which one is advantageous over the other. It helps you beat the other team. And also, what's fun about this game is, like I said earlier, this is partly visual novel. You unlock storylines as you go, but unfortunately, this wasn't localized in other
This is so JoJo.
in countries. So it's just Japanese text.
There you go.
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
that's music.
Work it, bitch.
And what's amazing, that's the Vogue team. And by the way,
They're all guys.
the actual
Just so
gameplay
you
is
know.
you have 4 button prompts on the screen, and it scrolls upward.
All right.
Oh, but my screen is freezing. I hope I'm not freezing because I think my internet is starting to flick.
Oh no, I know.
And
I
this
think
game
your
is
computer is just
actually,
getting some
I'm not sure if
overload from the video right there.
well funded.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Not sure if well funded is the correct term because the game and the dialogues are mostly fully voiced.
Oh, this is ballet. Okay, sure. A lot of pirouettes right there. And
Can you still hear
plies.
me?
A cruise ship in the background too.
Oh
Okay.
yes,
Mhm.
that's really.
Okay. First impressions. Okay. And I'm only basing my my impressions on what I'm looking at the screen right now. Okay. So this is basically a lot of dancing. Okay. So I'm not exactly sure how it doesn't really show here in the screen how exactly you're controlling the dancers. Unfortunately,
Yes, there
how
are
should
supposed to be button prompts there.
at the bottom part,
They're
right?
supposed to be bottoms. Okay. Anyway.
They're all bottom. Yes, most likely. They're all bottom. Sure. How should I describe this politely? Uh,
Politely, okay, fine.
because me and Sergio watch a lot of anime, and
Yeah.
over the years, Sergio, we've seen some Japanese and we've seen some animes that some of the characters are actually dancing, right?
Yes.
Like for example, Lucky Star, Haruhi Suzumiya,
Yes.
Haruhi no Yukai,
Mm.
and those are just the notable ones. And looking at this, it's like this is this the typical thing that you'll see on an anime that's based on music or dancing oriented themes on it. And the one thing that I've noticed with the Japanese choreography that's unlike K-pop or American breakdancing, with the Japanese choreography in terms of dancing, there's a lot of hands and there's a lot of finger movements as well. Like each finger has their own choreography as well. Like sometimes they do this, sometimes they do this. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in there. And like Miss I mentioned, there's a lot of variety here in terms of dancing. Okay, it also reminds me of and for all of you Filipinos out there, you know what I'm talking about. Like you're watching on those karaoke machines, the video game machines. You know those anime characters who are dancing in sync. Yep, these are the very same ones.
We're not talking about those karaoke video machines that show the the lewd stuff, okay? No, those kinds, those guys where you kind of singing and then halfway through you kind of stop singing because you're already staring at the screen too much. Anyway, that's different. Okay.
That's something different.
Okay. Anyway, if you guys are familiar with the what Joe's talking about this, if you guys know the anime Mashal, the intro sequence and the ending sequence, they have some really good dancing sequences there too. That's what we're talking about in terms of anime characters dancing, and that's what this footage is reminding us of. From if I'm picking up on what Joe is saying correctly. So yeah, very intricate choreographies, very I would say very complex and surprisingly well done when it comes to
Here you go. I got that part of footage here. Thank you for the footage, Gare.
There you
Okay,
go.
so there you go. That's how you
There.
control it.
Thank you so much.
There
Jose.
you go.
It kind of reminds me of the Persona dancing games.
Yes, I was going. Yeah, I was thinking about
Starlight, if I
that.
remember correctly, right, Jose?
Yeah. There you go.
I was actually gonna load on my phone. Thank you for that.
Oh, there you go. Very cool. I think my
Very
daughter
like an
Alexandra
example of the
requested.
team you did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alexander
so those
will
are the
be
different
will be
cards.
pleased with this one, Sir Joe. Yeah, I
I'll
think
see
your
if I can
daughter will
install
like
it
it.
on her phone. Okay. Okay.
So,
And not only
for
are there cards in the game, there are actually virtual cards.
Oh, that's
okay,
cool.
so one more time, Miss I, how will so people might be watching this and they like what they see. They like the boys dancing here. How can they get this game, and what's the easiest way for them to get this?
The easiest way, I think easy is not the word, but maybe work around to get this game because this is actually just available in Japan. Is you have to get the Q app, Q app,
All right.
just to be able to install it. So you have to look it up on that. I'm not sure if search engine is technically the correct term, but you have to download the app and look for Dankera there. And from there, you can download the game and it will install the APK. And don't worry, it doesn't have any viruses. It is a legitimate download place to download the game. I actually was able to log in and buy and purchase some. What did I purchase back then? I think actual cards, or no, not actual card, but cards for the characters in the game because they used to have events like seasonal events when it was summer or Christmas. They had packs that players could buy. So I have to admit,
Oh,
Whoops.
she got down.
Yeah.
Internet problem.
Miss Eileen's internet is sometimes a little flaky. We apologize to our audience.
There you go. She back.
All right, she's back.
sorry, my internet sucks right now. Not sure why it's been like this for quite a few days now. Globe, fix it.
I was searching
So,
for the game.
question about the gameplay. So I can see there. So, do you drag your fingers to the circles or something, or what?
You actually have to. Wait, I have it here. You have to actually press the button on the screen. You just
Oh,
press
press the
on those
button on the
four
screen.
prompts. And
Ah,
when it's
right.
like, yes, if there's a long prompt like that, you just hold the button.
Ah, right. So just like
I wish you can show you
Theatrium.
showing my phone.
So just like Theatrium.
Yes, so something like that.
Just like
Yes, but
Theatrium, right?
on the screen.
On the screen.
I was searching for the game right now, and it goes back to the gaming news. There, it looks like there was actually an offline edition on the Internet Archive. So if that ever comes back, that's a way to get it.
Oh, that's good to hear.
I mean, it's too bad it's on Japanese. I mean, if there's an actual English support of this,
Yes.
this would have been interesting actually. There you go. Hang on. Let's show that on the screen. Miss I is showing it on her phone. Uh,
Because
okay. So
the internet would just don't do justice.
right. So a quick question again from me. So because this is a Japanese only game, how intuitive it is for non-Japanese players? Like, can you just play it all? Can you just play it all together, or without going through all the motions of reading the subtext, or what?
Well, it looks like
Yeah,
it
it's
may
just
just
simple
be.
like this. For
Yeah.
our audio listeners, I'm showing the gameplay. I'm just using easy mode
Yeah,
because it's in reverse on the screen. It's inverted.
it looks
But you
like it
just
might
simply
just be
press the
easily
prompts on the
played because
screen just like that.
I mean,
It's
unless
just
you're
this is easy mode, but if you choose the expert mode, it's much harder.
Yeah. Can you
It
just
Yeah.
pick a
is
song
quite
and just jump
intuitive,
in?
and you don't need to know the language. You
So
can
you
even
just
skip
okay.
the
So you can just skip the
yes, you
tutorial as
can
long
even
as you know
skip
what you're
the
doing.
visual novel parts and unlock more songs.
Okay.
It's just as simple as this.
Right.
Yes, it's easy
Because
like
I
this.
remember. Because I
It's very
remember
easy to learn.
with even Busta Groove too. I mean, there's no tutorial whatsoever. You just play the game
Yeah.
right then and there. I mean, no story whatsoever. It's just there. Just just
All
go
on
on with it. Just
the
play.
internet.
All right.
Well, I think the Japanese version actually has like a semblance of a story
I guess it's
of
overloaded with
Buster Group
data.
2.
Oh, a semblance of a story, or a
Yeah,
concept of, or a
yeah,
concept of a
Yes, it
story.
does.
yeah, it does. That actually has like ending movies and stuff.
It's all about dance
Somewhat a
battles.
semblance of a story.
Yeah. Well, it is a fighting game, older fighting game when they didn't
So
really
the
Yes.
story
focus on
is,
the story.
I'm gonna tell it to you guys. So the story is, the rec center is being taken over by a greedy corporate overlord. So we must conduct like a dancing competition to raise some money to save the rec center. All of us rival groups, yeah, we should all band together. Let's do this. Let's fundraise. Make sure this place, where all dancers in this community can live and prosper together. That's
All
the
right, so
story
you
of
just
the game.
described a lot of the 80s films like Footloose, uh, Flashdance, all those. But then again, I'm not knocking them. I'm a child of the 80s. I love the 80s. What can I say? And like so Joe basically just described 80s dads movies. There you go.
The 80s dance movie, so old, all right. Whether it's
Those
Save
need
the
to come
Last
back.
Dance,
Those need to come
whether
back.
whether it's You Got Served, whether it got Stomp the Beat, oh sorry, Stomp the Yard,
Stop.
Save the Last Dance. You guys know what I'm talking
Hey,
about.
that's
Magic
a
Mike.
DDR song, by the way. "Stomp to My Beat" is a DDR song. So
Oh, okay.
Bow,
And we
bow,
have Shane
bow,
Martin
bow,
coming in
bow.
and joining us in the show. Wonderful, excellent.
Hello.
This is, if
Yeah.
we're talking about dance, dance and rhythm games, this is the guy that we need to talk.
This is the guy.
Yeah, that's the
the
man.
DDR guy, pump it
You
up
should
guy.
watch him
But other
live.
than that,
We'll be watching, all right.
oh yeah.
All right.
It was
What
years
you
ago.
got,
It
man?
was a year ago. Yeah.
What you
So,
got?
well, what do I got? Well, just coming in here to represent basically the old school rhythm games, because as we can see that like there's a lot of rhythm games out there nowadays, and even I myself was just like revisiting all of these. I was like, wow, everything just evolved. Like back in the day, we used to just like stomp with our feet. We actually have a sensor called Para Paradise going like this and whatnot. We even have like the dance freaks thing with these weird sensors underneath. And now we have like these things that's stuck on a wall where you're basically going like this nonstop. And I still don't know what the game was, but every time I see it in the mall, it's very, very interesting to watch.
So you're representing DDR, and there's a lot of DDR out
Yes.
there. What DDR
Yeah.
exactly?
Definitely. I'm more of the fifth mix slash. I wouldn't really call it fifth mix because here's the thing. When DDR actually came out with the fourth to fifth mix, there's already like a lot of the what we would call the offshoot DDR thing, where there's like a Korean version DDR, and they have like all the DDR songs that are actually in Korean. And it's like it gets a little bit kind of confusing that you're playing like the sport mix, and all of a sudden you're like, where's the song I'm playing? What the heck am I? What is this Japanese? What is this Korean song? Shock Snoopy? What? So yeah, I'm more of like a fifth and then DDR Max guy. Usually I tend to do the freestyling mostly from the very first all the way till the fifth. On the fifth, on the Max DDR Max one, I tend to do a lot of more of like a perfect attacks where let's try to aim for the best score and let's see if you can surpass yourself and try to see if you can survive so deep or max 300 in heavy mode, things like that.
So in particular with DDR, what songs are your main?
My main was always going to be with Naoki because I started with oh god damn it, there it is. That was a year ago, okay, just as a year ago. All right. Usually just doing freestyling on that one. As you can
What
see,
we
I
are
was playing
showing you
Brilliant
guys
Blue.
how you play DDR. Oh, back in the day, we have
Back in the
something
day when
called
we actually spin around and actually use knee drops
before
and
just
whatnot.
that and before
For the
the dance
audio
intro.
listeners, you guys are missing out. This is a master class in how to play DDR, right?
Oh, there you go.
There's Joe having a bit of a reaction because it's like, did he just use his knee?
You use his name in
Yeah,
DDR,
this
man.
this song is actually "Brilliant to You," which is a very very classic DDR song, and I've actually been like playing it since God knows how long. And this is one of the first songs that I actually learned to freestyle along with my friends back in California. Um, I'm usually a big Naoki fan, DJ Naoki. So usually I'll be like, Dynamite Rave, Brilliant to You, Brilliant to You Orchestra Mix. Usually those are the ones I always play. Um, this one, if you guys are wondering, this is what you would call freestyling. It's like you try to dance while going with the arrows. But there are also tricks in freestyling, which is like some of them are allowed in tournaments, and some of them, there's my wife's hands. Um, there are some that are allowed in tournaments, some of them are not. Like I don't know if some of you DDR players, if you guys still remember back in the day, what we call the Matrix Walk. The a very popular DDR crew called the A Team tends to do it a lot as well, where you basically hold the handrail, and then as you're gonna go from one side of the panel to another. But in order for you to do the Matrix Walk, you have to run across the screen. Because back in the day, the DDR arcade machine looks very, very different from this one that we have here. Clearly, on this one, you cannot do a Matrix Walk. I think they designed this one specifically to make sure that you're not going to do any of that anymore. Besides that, you usually do the knee drop, the hand stomping like that one. That's a knee drop you're doing there. But if you actually want to go with full freestyling, DDR is actually just one of them. Pump It Up, the Korean version one, which is basically the diagonal one with the center stump arrow in the middle. There's a lot of more freestyling happening on that game. But with DDR, even in the groove, which is another offshoot that came out, you're usually just going for the perfect attacks. Yes, knee drop, please. Yes. Yeah, I just did a knee drop right there in that video, if you guys have noticed, but my God.
That is quite a knee
So
drop.
yeah. Yeah, a knee drop. Basically, you just end up like, dropping your knee in one of the arrows, but it takes a lot of practice. At first, some people would just think that like, oh, I just need to drop my knee and whatever, or I will do a hand stamp or whatever. But the problem is that if you don't know how to do it properly without getting the sensitivity of the pad, you might end up hurting yourself. I remember like the first few times I was trying it out that I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the handstand, knee drop, blah blah blah. Next thing you know, my hands were all like swollen. Oh, that's another classic one, Cutie Chaser.
Okay.
Mm.
Any nostalgic experience or stories about DDR, guys? I know you guys may have one or two. Sir Joe, what can you tell us about your DDR experience? or
Absolutely nothing.
story, or, or,
Again,
or how you observe people play DDR?
well, my observation. Actually, let me just say one thing. With actual DDR machines, or I think the rhythm type of games that are in the arcades, I've seen a lot of people play them in the actual arcades back in my day. But surprisingly enough, there are still some here in the US. And my daughter Alexandria, who is all of 11 years old, turning 12, is getting into them. She and her friends take to them like dust to water because, well, my daughter is in dance class. But when they go into these arcade machines, they go straight into the rhythm DDR type of arcades. There she is, right there. And yes, we are talking about you. Yes, definitely, we are talking about you, and we are talking about how
Alexandria.
you and your friends seem to like. Yeah, there you go. How you and your friends really seem to like the Dance Revolution rhythm game type of games. You, Lily, Zephy, and everybody, you guys play these games very well, and you guys are enjoying yourselves. That's the nice thing about it. It transcends generations, and they like it too, even up to their generation. They go to it, they enjoy it. It's something that they take to, and long live arcade rhythm games. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Sir Jose? What can you tell us about DDR?
Oh man, I have a history of DDR as well. I remember getting the first one on the PlayStation. My brother bought it on a whim with the little plastic dance mat. It was that thing sucked, but
Yeah, they suck, dude. They do.
So I remember having like a few burned copies that I would play on my PS1, and eventually when I got to PS2, I was like, you know what, I need to take this up a notch, and I bought 2 metal dance pads for home use, which I still have. This is more like more than
Yes.
20 years ago, and they're still working good. I'm older now, so it's not as easy to DDR for me as it used to
I
be.
agree. I know what you mean, my bro. I know what you mean.
But my friend used to spend the night, and we used to play, like, no joke, from like 9 at night until like 6 in the morning. I'm pretty sure my parents were pissed, but we would play DDR all night. Like, but I just don't have the energy no more. And I own a bunch of the games still. There's actually a game on the PlayStation 2. It's DDR like. I don't know if you've heard of it, Shinmud. It's called Dance Factory. It's basically DDR.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
you
it's
put in
DDR
your
with the
own
different
music.
songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put in your own music. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about that as
Yeah.
well. Yes.
It's not the greatest, but it's a cool idea because it builds its
Yeah.
own step pattern from
Yes.
the CD you put in.
Yeah, I mean,
Dance
I know that
Factory.
like even in the
Yeah.
yeah, actually even like there's
I
an
think I have it.
independent one back
Oh,
in the
yeah.
day.
I got
yeah,
it.
go
Here.
go grab it. Like even on the PC, there was like a program that like a lot of independent developers created called Dance with Intensity, and
That's not it.
I think they even call it Step Mania nowadays, where you just downloaded all of the songs and even the arrow steps to the point that
Actually,
there's even a way where you could there you go, that's the one.
yeah, it's actually
Dance
called
Factory.
Dance to Any Music CD. That's the subtitle.
Mhm.
Oh, so hang on. So that means what? So you put your own music in there, and the game will just randomly create arrows for you
Yeah,
that
I
you
think you
follow.
could go in and edit them,
You
but
could. Yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
I think you could where I don't know if it's that version, but I do remember where it's just like you don't just go from one step and then you add an arrow. No. It's like while it's playing, you can actually
yeah,
put the steps in there as it goes. And then now that when you start to play it, that's the arrow that would come up.
because in my mind, like for example, if so if you're gonna input your own game in there, I would assume the game will analyze the track, the tempo of the music, and then it will create the
Yes.
arrows depending on how fast the beat is. It's not like it just will randomly just put arrows in there, it, unsync with the tempo of the music.
Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't. That's the thing. Is that most of the customizing ones, what they do is that like you actually I don't know about what you call it for this dance factory, but I know in Step Mania when they actually create the music, you can just hear the ticking of the beat, like tick 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 tick, and then while you're hearing that, you can actually add the arrows, and then you can press pause, go back to it if you want to edit it up, move it out a little bit or whatever.
Like
But the
what
ones
is
that I'm
this
so
DDR
familiar,
maker?
yeah, no, this is I think it's Step
Basically,
Mania. Yeah,
yeah,
Step
yeah.
Mania, which is like
Basically,
the
it's
PC
DDR maker.
version one.
You're making
Yeah,
you're making your own DDR.
yeah. And funny enough is that like there's so many communities that actually created like customized songs along with their customized arrows that you cannot even use your feed anymore. It's
yeah.
just for the it's just a self gratification that you can create basically a stage where you have like this hell of arrows coming out of nowhere, and the only thing that's really enjoying it is basically your fingers.
Oh God. Right.
Yeah, so it's like
Um.
that's basically how much that community evolved. That it's not just about just
Right.
dancing anymore. It's all about how good your eyes are in catching how many arrows and how many beats that you can actually get just with your keyboard alone.
Mhm.
I think like Flash Revolution is actually one of them
Oh
that
my
does that.
god, that takes me
Oh,
back.
you know about Flash Revolution. You know about the nightmare about the bumblebee. You know about the nightmare about the bumblebee. You know about, oh my god, it's like they decided to actually do the old, I think, a Tchaikovsky Attack of the Bumblebees thing, and then the moment you hear it, here's like a bazillion of arrows coming out of nowhere. And clearly, if you look at it, there's no way you could use your feet on this one. It's really just like how fast your eyes can catch it with your fingers. And that's pretty much the gratification of those songs. But I mean, that's basically just goes to show that like even with rhythm games, it's not even just like because you're doing a dance and whatnot. It's basically challenges your coordination, not just with your eyes, but also with your hands, even with the rest of your body. And it really just goes to show that, like, even if you don't think that you can dance, it goes to show that, like, human beings do have rhythm in their body. It just takes something to get it out of them.
All right. How about Miss I? Any interesting stories regarding DDR?
I would say I mostly experienced DDR on the PlayStation. It was with the controller. Then eventually, after I got to buy a book of the card from store. I returned it and credit was 100, but and then like
Oh,
it's really good. Oh,
oh,
it's fun in
There's no there's no such
decades,
thing
and
as
it's good.
good dance pad. There's no such thing. A home dance pad does not exist. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's quite useless. We would slip on the dance pad, or the dance pad itself would slip. So I'm just content with the controller, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm not confident playing on the arcade. So I mostly experience the game on my PlayStation 1 on the controller. That's that's about it. But I have to say I enjoyed the
Right.
music, and maybe my favorite music was Boys, oh, and the one with the boom boom. I forgot the titles,
Boom
but
boom
it's mostly
boom
those.
dollar.
Yeah,
boom, boom,
yes,
Boom
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 boom,
Dollar.
boom
Yes, that
boom
one.
electric body. Yeah, that's boom boom dollar.
boom,
Yes,
boom, boom, boom.
those were my
Better,
favorites. I would
better,
say.
better, better. Boom boom
I
boom.
mean,
That's the
that's the
one.
only song most people dance to anyway. Back in the
Well,
day,
that's the first stage. That's the first stage. It's
Yes.
boom boom
because that's the
dollar.
only because
Now,
that's the only stage that most people can tolerate.
This is the
well,
only
after boom boom
acceptable
dollar, you go for
home dance
butterfly.
pad.
Oh,
Oh, there you
now,
go.
Is
now,
one of
now
these.
that's
Oh,
good. Now
Oh,
that
you need one of
okay.
those. There you go.
That is good. Now that
Yeah.
is good. Okay, you see, you can tell that this is not gonna move around when
Yes.
you stomp. A dance playmat or whatever they call that damn thing. It's like if you put it on the ground, it doesn't even matter if it's a
That's
hardwood
a
floor,
dance
if it's a carpet,
board.
it would move.
That's a dance
It would
board,
move.
not a
with
dance
a pet, it
pad.
did nothing.
Hey, hey, man! All I could say, you lucky, lucky bastard. I want one of those. I want one of those.
Is there
I
is
want
there
it.
is there a maximum weight capacity?
On that, I think it was 500
Mm,
500 what?
pounds. Pounds.
Pounds.
yes, bounce, bounce.
So
Respect.
it can withstand 500 pounds of pressure. All right. I remember DDR when it first came out on our local malls, and at first a lot of people were struggling with it. Like people don't even know what the hell they were doing until eventually some of the patrons, some of the players there, really got interested so much that all they do is play DDR like a lot, like day in day out. You always see the same people playing DDR, and then as time went on, people got a little bit more creative on dancing on these machines, like freestyling, like Roma Shin did there on his video. And as a spectator, you can just sit there, stand there, watching them in awe, like how nimble these people are. And I'm like, are you supposed to be a dancer per se just to appreciate this game? No, not necessarily.
No,
Just
no.
follow the arrows, as long as you got rhythm in your body, which it is a rhythm game, meaning hand eye, in this case, foot eye coordination is imperative. All right, and then there's a lot of games that were derived from DDR over the years. Okay. And in the Philippines, so yeah, I'm not sure if Sir Jose got one of those dance pads who are not, that are not really officially licensed by Sony or PlayStation, or in this case Konami.
Konami.
Um, they were made in the cheap. All right, you nail those motherfuckers on the ground just so that you won't as long because why? because
That's
when
still
people,
not gonna work.
it's not gonna work because I
Put
remember
rugby, put nails. It doesn't
no
work because the problem
glue
is
nails
that
whatever
yeah,
that
it doesn't
thing will
work.
just slip off the floor because
Yeah,
when people really wanted to take DDR home for themselves. So you got
yeah,
and those DDR pads were didn't cost that much really. I mean, at the time, like the best, I think like maybe 1,000 pesos at the time, maybe
mm, yeah.
Yes.
when those first came out, and then like 1 out of 10 of those, Sir Jose, you'll
Mm,
return it to the shop. I mean,
Yeah.
no.
yeah.
So scratch that. One out of 10, you'll keep. One out of 10 of those will most likely will last you for at least 2 weeks. 9 of those you'll return it to the
Yeah,
shop so you can replace them, and the shop will just refurbish the packaging and then sell it back.
yeah. It's
And
like you would think that like you're the one
yeah,
who's actually have a hard time dancing when in reality that the dance pad is the one that has the problem. It
yeah,
happens.
and I remember whether you dance with shoes on, whether you dance with just socks on, whether you dance just bare feet, no, that thing will just fly off. Wherever you
Socks is
go,
not a good idea. Never use
no,
socks. Never use socks.
no, no, even bare feet because when things got really heated up, you tend to perspire, and and if you have really sweaty feet, that's not gonna help your case either.
Yeah.
And I remember, okay, I remember playing with one of my friends, and I tend to cheat rather than using my feet. I just use my hands, like stomping in my hands. That's bad. I'm like, fuck this. I'll just use a controller, right? Uh, all I'm doing is just hitting the buttons anyway. What's wrong with this? Okay, what's wrong with your fingers? Okay. Anyway, it's fun.
Yeah.
This is one of those games that will really. I would suggest this game for those people who really like moving their bodies a lot. If you're the type of person who don't really work out that much, okay, even the slowest tempo music in DDR can make you pant and exacerbate some asthma. All right, so be careful. Speaking of which, if you're smoking, guys, this is a public announcement coming from the Timeless Gamer Show. Never quit smoking, okay? There's okay.
I don't know
Quit
about
smoking.
that. I don't know about that. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
quit
I'm sorry. I'm
smoking.
sorry. I
It's
have
not for your health.
I have to disagree with that one. I have to disagree with that statement. You don't understand, Chris Joe. You don't understand. As a
I
DDR
don't
player,
understand.
all right.
Okay, all
Okay.
right, all
Okay.
right, all
Okay.
right.
As
Case
a
in
DDR
point,
player, all right.
what
Okay.
that video we showed you earlier, okay, was just the
It's an
half
old
of it.
man that's decided to go back on his youth,
Was
but
the
it
half
didn't
of it.
work.
Fuck you. Nobody knew. Nobody else knew what happened after you danced there. Okay, I was
Yeah.
there.
Look. Okay. Okay. I
You
want.
were there. I was
Okay.
there. No one
In
was
my
there.
defense,
I was
in
there.
my defense, all right, hold on. In my defense, in that video, okay, in that video, that was the first time I've actually played DDR after so many years. All right, number one.
After
Number
so many
two,
years of smoking.
no. I've been smoking since I've been playing DDR. You see, as a DDR player, some of us do actually smoke. And the thing is, especially back in Minnesota, all right, when we play in Mall of America, after you basically dance around and whatnot, and then like you hang around, you actually do this thing called shadowing, where you're not really playing, you're just using the other extra dance pad on the other side because there is basically free, and you just want to learn the arrows. So you're just like, hey, can I shadow with you? And they're like, sure. So you're just like playing around and whatnot. We sometimes actually go out for a smoke because it's kind of like sex, really.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
sure.
right. I went there. I
No,
went
no,
there.
no,
Yeah.
no,
You
you
you can
didn't
hear
went
the
there.
pin drop right when Mamuchi said that. That shit, like
All right. No, what I'm
Okay.
what I'm saying here, guys. Okay, if you don't have the lung capacity, you'll just hurt yourself.
Mm.
Okay, and smoking
All
will
right.
just exacerbate that, and especially if you're not really work. And if you, and for example, and for some strange reason, you stop playing DDR, but you kept smoking anyway all over those years, and then you're gonna start playing DDR. Chances are you're gonna end up on the floor as well, like this motherfucker right there.
Hey, again. Like I said, in my defense, that was the first time I ever played for so many years. All right, and this is like, look, we weren't even expecting that there was a DDR machine in that arcade. We were all like running around. We're all like, hey, let's. And I was just like, look yonder, what is that thing? Am I seeing what am I seeing? Okay, that's it. I'm going and try it out. And look, my wife hasn't seen me dance. My son hasn't even seen me do it. So why the hell not? Let's try to make a complete fool of it. I mean, look at my body over there. It's like seriously, does does that look like somebody who's been like playing DDR a lot? No, trust me, it doesn't. So when I did that, I just came back from that old instinct, which is like, for you guys who are actually like, old DDR players, and you think that you don't have it in you. Here's a good example. You still do. It's just that your body doesn't react the same way as it used to. It's just like you're gonna get tired easily, and at the same time, you'll be surprised that you're like, it's only just one song. Why am I? Because but and then basically what he was like saying, because literally after that meetup with Retromancy, is that I was crawling out of the mall, Kuya Jose. Literally, like everybody was just like, "Hey, let's go home now." Like you just imagine as they're all going away. There's like me, along with my wife, basically my wife carrying me, going like, "I don't think I'm gonna make it to Dakar." Tell my son I love him. Oh my god!
And this is coming from the guy who decided to freestyle years
At
after.
least I tried. At
Years
least I
after
tried.
playing
Hey, look.
DDR.
You got
Knee
you got to
dropping,
admit though. You
knee
got to
dropping,
admit
elbow
though.
dropping. God damn it!
You got to admit though. But you guys saw me did that. You guys were all going nuts. All right. The videos.
We were
Hey,
going
the
nuts.
video.
All right.
Yeah, the video
We
didn't
were
actually
but we
play
were
the
not
audio.
expecting calling the ambulance right after.
Yeah, yeah, Kuya said, like seriously, these guys, you just didn't hear the audio, but in the audio, you can hear Kuya Joe going like,
Oh, is that like somebody who's like a newbie? This
doesn't look like a newbie dancing. And then the moment I went with the knee drop, he was like, oh my god, he just used his knee, and then like walks away.
Oh shit! That's the intro, brother. Oh, and then right afterwards,
Eh, again.
Again. It's like riding a bike, but except that your body doesn't really respond properly. But the truth is, okay, seriously speaking, the good part about it is that like it just goes to show that even though it's so many years has passed, as long as like you're really passionate about this, you really love this, most of you guys would assume that like let's say the games that everybody's playing nowadays, like even with Just Dance, right? Some people would assume that like no, it's been like a decade or two. I don't think I remember it. Trust me, the moment that music starts playing, there's like a part of your body that will start to remember the routine. Because even though like I don't know if most of these guys experience it. I don't know if Kuya Jose, if you've ever experienced it, sis I, but if you play DDR or any rhythm game for so long, all right, after you play, there's like this weird thing where you're not even really daydreaming, you're not even really thinking of anything, but you see the arrows inside your head. You're seeing like all the arrows going upward. You're seeing like, whatever this buttons that you have, and you're just having that simulation, even though you don't want to think about it. It's like as if your brain is storing all those rhythms that you just had that whole day. And because of that, I won't be surprised that like decades later, if you try to play that game, it just like come in as second nature. It's just that, you're 40 plus, and then at the same time you realize that you don't have the same limbic movements you have, and your knees hurt twice
Oh,
now.
God.
So 50 pounds bigger later.
alrighty. Let's not try gaslighting the people here. Okay. Trying to justify his actions. from a year ago.
I
But
have
let's
to.
continue on with the show. All right.
Yes, okay.
Let's how about let's go with mine because Sir Jose already featured this game, Busta Groove 2. I'll move on to my other one, which is Theaterim Final Fantasy Curtain Call. Okay, and I'm not even sure how to pronounce it right. So Miss I might know this. Is it theater rhythm or theater rhythm?
Uh, to be honest, I'm not sure either. Maybe fifth rhythm because it doesn't have the e there for to make it theater. It's
Right.
fifth rhythm, something like that.
Theater,
I always just say
theater
theater
rhythm.
rhythm. Theater
Theater
rhythm.
rhythm. How do you
Fifth
say
Yeah.
that?
rhythm.
Theater rhythm or theater
Yeah.
rhythm? Hmm.
I would say
Right.
third.
Theater rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call. So I
I said
got
cute.
it for. So I got the 3DS version. Apparently, it's available on the Switch as well. And there's
Yeah.
a few theater rhythm games out there, but I chose this one because I got because this is the first because this is the one that I saw in the shelf on our CEX. And the best person to describe this game would be Miss I because she's been playing this more than I do. So Miss I, how although this is my game, you can tell more about this. I'll just add more into it. Go.
So from what you see on the screen there, it's usually just arrows and button prompts. And there are actually three types of, I would say, gameplay in this uh, rhythm game. This one is like the battle version of the rhythm game. There's also this one, I think this is the field, it's supposed to be the field music where you are just walking and like consider it traveling. Ooh. And I have to say, I actually learned this game from Jose watching his streams. That's why I love this game because I saw it from his streams and I got the game because of him. So there is also the field music where I think it's the airship that you use. Which one is this? For the benefit of our audio listeners, we are showing clips of the Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call, the 3DS version. And I actually just played what you call this final bar line earlier with my brother because I I would say I influenced him to play this game and he actually bought a Switch because of this game. And we were playing earlier the Switch version and there are some differences. Here you can see it's I'm not sure which difficulty this is. I'm thinking this would be the expert or the hard one. But on the Switch version, there's actually additional button prompts. Like you are gonna use both analog sticks on the Switch because considering the 3DS, there's only one analog stick. And in this game, you get to level up your characters. Now, what's the point of leveling them up? Once you get to the harder, more difficult, or before I go there, you can see there's the summon attack of Knights of the Round. It depends on your main character because you have a party of four. Whoever is your main character, the summon attack depends on that main player. And as you level up those characters, you get to, I would say, get more lives or endurance whenever you play the game because if you miss any prompt, you will lose HP. So if your characters are weak and you're playing the harder difficulties, you would easily die. Yes, I'm using the word die because if you lose, they lose HP. It's usually just arrows and buttons. And you could use, I'm talking about the 3DS, either the stylus on the bottom screen or you could use your A button plus the analog stick. There's those two types of gameplay depending on your preference because not everybody plays the same. I find the combination of the A button plus the analog stick more easier, I think, compared to the stylus when you just follow the screen on the bottom because it's not really directly over the prompts. The prompts is on the upper screen. The bottom is just a blank canvas for you to follow, just point anywhere. And I don't think it doesn't feel natural to me. I prefer the button and the analog stick combination.
Right.
And as you point, yes, and
How about Sir Jose? What can you tell us about Theater Rhythm? Because you've been streaming this as well.
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, I remember when the first one came out. I was looking so forward to it because I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. So when I heard that there was a Final
There it
Fantasy music
is.
rhythm coming out, I was like, I have to get this. And like Eileen said, the first one is it. You have to use a stylus. There's no other game modes. The second one has all the DLC from the first one. There's so much DLC. I spent so much money, and then they just gave it to you for free with this one.
What the
um,
fuck?
yeah,
Typical Nintendo.
yeah. And then the newer ones, these are really fun. I wish I had way more music. But I guess like at this point it dropped the Final Fantasy name, and it has like music from other Square Enix games like Nier, uh,
Oh, really?
Live Alive,
Xenogears,
Xenogears.
Oh shit! Really?
Um,
Xenogears in there?
yeah, I forget what else.
other Square games. Chrono
What-
Trigger. Oh,
oh yeah, Chrono
you're
Trigger.
not a fan. I forgot.
What game is that? What game is that?
The game that triggers you, Chrono Trigger. So
No,
Dan,
no,
Dan.
what game is this? Is it still Theater Rhythm or
Yeah, it's Theater Rhythm.
Yes, the
Which
music
one?
from Chrono Trigger. You could.
The final
yeah.
bar.
Final Bar? Right. Okay.
And then they even have
Okay.
Final Fantasy 16 music, but that one's DLC. And then they
I'm not
actually
yet-
have it's a Japanese only release. There's a Dragon Quest themed Theater Rhythm game, but I haven't
Oh.
played it. Yeah, but
Okay.
it's there. And then there's also an arcade version too. It's called like
Only in
All-Star
Japan, though.
Carnivore. I think it's over here too. I
Right.
think.
So let's go back to the screen, Indar. So for those people who are wondering, so Miss I did mention some summons. Okay, so for all of you Final Fantasy geeks out there, you know that we got some summoning Guardian forces here, and I'm not sure if you can see it. Let's just maximize that. So if you can see there in the screen, and for all of you video watchers out there, and I'm sorry for the audio listeners. So in the screen there, you can see there's a bar. This bar right there at the very bottom, right where so it says there, right there. So depending on how long the music is, so there's a prompt that will keep moving forward and forward until the music stops. And in that bar, you'll see a color orange somewhere in the middle, sometimes near the end. That is your summoning bar. So once you've gathered enough points, and when the prompt approaches that orange bar, that's the time when your main character will actually summon your your guardian force. Okay, is it right to call it guardian force? your summon monster, all right, your Pokemon basically. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because you know this more than me. If you don't so you can still summon, but if you don't acquire the right points, if you, for some reason you've been missing a lot of chains, a lot of buttons, you're gonna be summoning a chocobo.
Yes,
Am I right? Okay.
you're correct.
um because when I first played it, I'm like, okay, why I keep summoning a chocobo. Sometimes I'm summoning Ifrit, and I'm like, so is this a random thing? No, until Miss I pointed out to me, depending on who your main character is, that's who you get. Each main character, well, each character has its own summoning creature, and some of the summons can be exclusive to one character, and some summons can be shared by other people as well. Like for example, Ifrit, Odin, one or two characters might have him, but Knights of the Round, is it exclusive only for cloud? I mean, who
I'm
else?
not sure.
I mean, it's a Final Fantasy VII exclusive summon, so I would assume Knights of the Round would be exclusively for cloud only. I mean, would it be weird if Tidus or or Garnet can get Knights of the Round as well?
I think in the
Uh,
new one, anyone can be assigned to any summon in the newer
oh,
game.
can you do that? Can you reassign them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Um, you can also have so by playing this if so I remember so when I got my game, it's a pre-owned game, unfortunately. So the previous owner got already two saves in, and with the rhythm curtain call, you can only have two saves in there, and unfortunately, there's no way for you to start a new game in this unless you do a full erasure of the game data. And I'm like, okay, I don't really like doing that. If I really need to, I might do that. Why? Because you can't, because there's no way for you to start a new game on this. Um, for all of you new players, the tutorial you'll only see the tutorial when you start a new game. And because the previous owner already got two saves in there, I chose the one who with the least playtime, so I can get some of the experience, so I can at least unlock some of the things um, with me playing them. And I'm still learning a few more stuff as I go along. Um, by acquiring enough points, you'll be able to unlock new characters. You'll be acquiring a lot more music. You have some music gallery in there. And I mentioned this to Miss I on our group chat. It made me appreciate the Final Fantasy music even more. And it kind of makes me want to play the other Final Fantasy games, really per se. Uh,
Same.
For all of you guys who started Final Fantasy on the PS1, like 7, 8, and 9, you'll love this. Okay, especially if you're into the music. Um, what else? With the field music mode, it took me a while to understand what the hell am I supposed to do there. Because okay, because all you're pressing is just the A button, really, and then just the direction, and then the directional buttons. And not first, at first I'm like, because I'm not because I cannot start a new game, so I'm not sure what to press. So with the directional buttons, at first I thought I should be using the D-pad, but no, I'm supposed to use the analog stick. And I heard that you can use the stylus on this, but because I cannot really do a new game. Apparently, it's on button mode, not stylus mode. Okay, so on the field music mode, apparently you need to move the analog stick up and down when the prompt zigzags. I didn't know that. How come I didn't know that? Because I didn't went to the tutorial. How the hell should I know that? Right? How the fuck do I know that? So no, eventually, okay. Oh, you're supposed to go up and down when the music prompts you. And yeah,
And it's not in the manual because there's no manual.
fuck, there's no manual, right? Again,
To counter, was it Sir Birash or Sir Dan in our group chat? It's not in the manual because there's no manual.
inserts. Sure, the inserts
What
that
the
I
hell?
got, I just got, is just a registration card saying, "Oh, you should register your game." Ain't no manual in this, right?
Mine has
It's a 3DS game. Ain't no manual
mine
in
has
there.
this.
Okay, there you go.
But it's
Is it-
literally this is it.
Yes,
That's
it's just that.
That's it. That's it.
It- it's just a registration card, really,
Yeah.
or it's just documentation, really, about that,
Mhm.
right? Nothing else in there. Sure. But
Not,
hey,
not like the first one. The first one had the actual whole book
Oh,
to it.
uh,
that is
you,
cool.
you'll actually so for all of you Final Fantasy gamers from 1 up until 14, I guess. From 1 up until 14, you there are some monsters here that you might be familiar with. Even Kefka is here in our first. Oh, that's Kefka. I know that guy. Um, they made the creatures here in chibi form. Okay, SD form, super deformed. Really they curry cur
Caricature.
Caricature.
caricature, yeah, caricature. But there you go.
Caricature.
All the
Caricature.
characters here to a fault. Okay, even the summon creatures look like Pokemon in this. I don't know why. Why did they do that? Because, when I saw Bahamut in this, okay, um, who was Bahamut in this? So when Miss I said, okay, depending on who your character is, you'll get to see the summon. I'm like, okay, I was curious on what kind of summons I'm getting with my current characters. I got Ifrit with my guy the Onion Knight that I'm using. So he has he has Ifrit, and then who's the main character in Final Fantasy 6? The
Tara.
girl.
Tara.
Terra, yeah.
Yara.
So I got Terra as well, and she got Bahamut. And then okay, let's see what you got, Terra. And then Bahamut comes in. I'm like, what the fuck are you? You're not Bahamut. Okay, the Bahamut I know is the one from Final Fantasy 8 and the one from Advent Children. Now that's a fucking Bahamut right there. The one in here,
Bahachu. You got a Bahachu. You got a Bahachu.
it's about you. God damn it! No, I'm like and then finally I got Cloud. I was able to unlock Cloud. Okay, and then Miss I was like, oh shit, you got Cloud. Oh, he has Knights of the Round. I go, oh shit, Knights of the Round. I was curious about that, and yeah, and I'm like, okay, Cloud is staying on my party. He is not going. I mean, if he is the only one who has Knight of the Round, he is staying in my party. I don't care who else in there. Yeah, like I said, and I, and this is one of those games that I'm not typically uh, really a keen in playing rhythm games in general. Really, there was a time when I was playing Buster Groove, and I played the hell out of those. I enjoyed Buster Groove for what it was. In this one, um, if it's not about the gameplay, I'm enjoying the gameplay. I'm enjoying unlocking the characters, but the music. If it's anything else, guys, mostly Nobuo Uematsu's work. Get this game. For all of you Final Fantasy, whether you're a Final Fantasy player, whether you're a Final Fantasy music appreciator, whether you are a rhythm game enthusiast, uh, for being just that, try this game. All of the theater rhythm games, actually. That's me. Joining us right now, Sir JDM.
Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm
Oh,
late because I got some technical issues. And hello, everyone. Juan DeMarcos of 123 Go Retro.
All right, what do you got? Since we got Sir JDM right there, we'll go with your game.
I'm in the hot seat now. So for me, I'm not really a fan of rhythm games, but I have this game. I have this one. It's called Rocksmith from Ubisoft. It was released
Rocksmith.
in yes. It was released by Ubisoft in 2011 for the PS3 and Xbox, and it was subsequently released late for the PC in 2012, but I didn't have a decent PC to play it with. I first bought the PS3 game back in 2012. So Rocksmith is a rhythm game, but this one is what's the thing with it is you can use your own instrument to play this game, while instead of using the typical rhythm game, uh, if you have played Guitar Hero or Guitar Freaks or Gitadora, you have this um, chance to play your favorite tunes using a real instrument, like a guitar or a bass. You can choose two. Uh, you can choose from a guitar or a bass. You can also use an acoustic guitar, but you need to set it up correctly, or you need to your acoustic guitar should have its own guitar pickups. You can buy it separately, or you can have acoustic guitar with a built-in microphone or amplifier, so you could connect it to the game using this, like a USB connector. This one. The other end is this, what you call the 3.5 millimeter jack, or a one fourth jack. This you stick to the guitar, then this one converts it digitally, so it will be gathering input from your instrument to the game. But the original, this is just like a replacement, because my original, what do you call this? It's called a, actually I forgot what it's called. The original one, the one that came with my game, it got broken, but I got this replacement. It is made in China, so the quality is not great, but I still use this. And yeah, it's the first game that you could actually use real instrument. And what's a good thing about this is you can play this game even if you're not is still a beginner, because it has like levels. You can start at the big like you can start your path as a beginner, then gradually, if the game, like if the game has this ranking, so if you play perfectly, or not perfectly, just average or above average, you will level up. And because if you play as a beginner, you have this, you can only see like small inputs. It those what they call this numbers, it don't show up. If you're a beginner, it doesn't show up everything. Those what do you call this, markers? If you're a beginner, so gradually it will show all the markers. And for example, if you reach the intermediate, then gradually those markers will show up until you reach master. Then everything will show up here, the notes. So the numbers here are the actual fret. So let's do some guitar 101. So this is what you call a fret. This one, this. So the numbers that come up here is the actual fret in the fretboard of a guitar. So you're actually playing the notes that are in the music that you're playing, or the song that you're playing. And that's the way you learn how to play the guitar or the bass.
All right. Thoughts, people.
Well,
Does it
for
actually
someone
teach
who,
you how to play guitar?
yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was
sorry.
gonna ask. No, that's
Yeah,
exactly
I
what I
was
was
Right.
about to
gonna
ask.
ask.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
I
yeah,
guess it's an our minds.
yeah. All you have to do is just follow the those markers, those frets that those numbers, because the one below, those are the corresponding strings that you have to press, and the numbers on the screen are the fret numbers. So those are the actual notes of the music that you're playing. So for example, this, I don't know what he's playing. It did not indicate. I think this is a lead guitar part, because there are three different play styles here. You can play as a rhythm guitar, the one that plays the chords or like the harmony. Then you have, sorry, if you play the lead guitar, you play the solos, like the riffs of the music that you're playing. Like this one, this guy is playing lead guitar, so he's playing the guitar solos here. And then you have the rhythm guitar who um, does the accompaniment or the harmony of the music, like doing the chords, like the E chord, the A chord, and all of those. The one that's, and for the bass, it's like a lead guitar, but you only have notes. You don't have chords.
I remember when this is just a tangent. I remember when Guitar Hero first came out, and a lot of people were clamoring for that game. There were a lot of positive reviews about with Guitar Hero when that first came out. But the first thing that most people will complain about is that this game doesn't really teach you how to play the guitar. Is you're just pressing you're just following the color prompts. That's it. It's not really teaching you how to move your fingers according to the strings. Not really. So okay, then how about this then, right? So this one
Yeah.
is strictly for those people who've been complaining about people not learning the guitar properly. For those people who are hating on Guitar Hero. Now this is your fucking Guitar Hero right here.
Yes,
Okay.
this game is not for posers, but it's really a good game. One of the
Yeah,
best
he went there.
games.
He went there.
Right.
So you know how guitar players or musicians like they try to gatekeep those posters, right? And yeah, and
He's
actually it's
really
not
getting into it.
No, no. I remember this South Park episode where they were playing Guitar Hero, and
Oh.
there's a record. Sir Jose might know this, and there's this recording producer heard him play. Oh shit, kid, you play that Guitar Hero. You really play like a pro. And like it kind of insinuates that he really does know how to play music, but just on Guitar Hero and just doing this all the time. Yeah, so they're just making a parody about how people are so into Guitar Hero. Like people think that they're so talented in playing the guitar,
yeah,
and
but
then the dad was like, "What are you guys doing? You're not really playing the guitar."
I think that's what guys from Ubisoft thought about when they saw Guitar Hero. We should, you know what?
Yeah,
We should
actually,
create a game that's
actually lets you play the
actually
guitar.
for, yeah, and it's not a like, for me it's like the best way to learn how to play the guitar and be good or enjoy rhythm games, because for me, I already know how to play the guitar, when I bought this game, but I'm not that great even until now. Like 20, since it's 13 years, I still feel like I'm a beginner, but I don't know if maybe with if not for this game, I did not learn anything or I did
Hang
not
on.
reach
Uh,
the
I mean,
intermediate level.
the panel might disagree on me on this. Okay, I really want to play the guitar. First thing, I'll buy a guitar. Second thing, I need to buy this game to help me learn the guitar. So, I mean,
I don't think that's not a bad idea. I think that's a good idea, honestly.
is it a good idea though? I mean, there are a lot of
Well,
tutorials on
the
YouTube
only
out there. You can
the o-
actually let you play the guitar.
no no no
There's
no no
phone
no.
apps
The
out there
only
that you can
problem
play the guitar.
the only problem you're gonna
What
have now. Yeah, the only problem you're gonna have now is that like if somebody tells you to actually play using a certain chord, or you're gonna actually have a music piece or a sheet or something, you're gonna have a hard time. But like if they tell you to go and play like Carry On My Wayward Son, and it just happens to be in that game, I will be surprised if you're gonna end up doing the whole 11 minute solo of the damn song because you've been playing the game for so long. It's like the muscle
so what
memory
you're
is gonna
saying
help you out.
So what you're saying is, if it's something more interactive, rather than something just showing you how to place the chord, something more interactive like this kind of speed things up for you.
It will speed things up, but the technicalities and the way that you would learn basic guitar lessons and whatnot, it might actually flew over your head. It's kind of like, like for us artists, you just like you have somebody who just jumped into freaking digital drawing and barely even touched a pencil or something and starting with the basics and whatnot. And then here they are, like using Control Z all over the place. It's kind of similar to that.
Coming from the oldest rocker out here in the panel, Sir Joel, am I crazy?
No, I mean, you learn however you can learn. With a video game like Guitar Hero, Guitar Hero, you might learn some of the basics, you might learn some of the technicalities, but nothing replaces hard work. Nothing replaces going into it, getting your hands dirty, finding out the classical ways of doing it. Nothing will compare to that. I mean, there's no way that you are going to reach Joe Satriani, Ingrid Malmsteen, Eddie Van Halen levels of guitar going through a video game. You have
All
to
right.
do the hard work.
If I'm going to call on the bullshit further, this is coming from the guy who likes fishing games.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So a guitar simulation game like this, how does it compare to your fishing games?
Same way. I've gone to the levels where I'm really good at fishing games. But if you ask me to go out the same way that I did over at South Carolina at a wharf, throw out a line, there's no way I'm catching one. Even watching the new anime Positive Negative Angler, even if I've memorized every facet of it, even if I've heard all the concepts and everything, nothing beats going out there and really casting your line. Same way with guitars, I'm absolutely sure. Or artwork, there's nothing that replaces hard work, blood, sweat, and tears invested into making yourself as good as you possibly can with anything. Honestly, talent goes a certain way, talent goes a little bit further, but hard work really is irreplaceable.
Well said.
All right, how about Sarah playing the guitar using this video game, yay or nay?
I don't think I'd be able to do it. It's just I played an instrument when I was younger, and if you gave me one again, I don't think I would be able to play it. I don't remember. I'm not very musically inclined when it comes to an instrument, so I'll stick to my fake plastic guitar.
All right, how about you, Miss I?
This is the only guitar I can play. Guitar Hero.
There you go.
But I actually have
This kind of bullshit I was talking about.
actually have an acoustic guitar.
All right. Oh, so you had that kind of guitar. That's a Guitar Hero guitar, right?
Well, I play
Okay.
an expert mode. Yeah.
So what is that? Cello? Is that the is it the cello hero? What is that?
It's a cello hero, ukulele hero, the joke.
A
I
ukulele
actually play
hero?
expert mode. But I do
ukulele
have
hero.
an acoustic guitar, a beginner one. I tried to learn, But I would say I'm not musically inclined. I'm more into visual art, so I kind of dropped it. So I guess this Guitar Hero is more of something to enjoy, and I would say I'm actually interested in Rocksmith. I looked up which guitars are compatible with the game, but then I just abandoned the idea because of the price. So I'll just leave it to imagination
Oh,
because I can't
oh,
afford
I'm
the
sorry.
thing.
You
But I would
abandoned
say
the
I
idea
think
because of the
it's
price.
Rocksmith could be
That's
useful.
your main excuse.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes, it's
convenience.
expensive because the guitar has to be compatible with the computer. It's not just any guitar. My acoustic
Yeah.
guitar is actually the cheapest version there is out there. It's even for
Yeah,
kids.
I agree. I
So
agree
how
with
can I
that because
even
like my brother
afford
has this.
the guitar?
Yeah,
My brother have the same issue because even he actually bought Rocksmith, and it took him
Sorry.
forever to actually play the game itself because he has to get a specific guitar that will be compatible for it. Yeah,
Yes.
it's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna connect my guitar and here you go. No, it's apparently it's not like,
Yes, unfortunately.
your good
Oh,
old 40,
okay.
100-year-old
Oh,
guitar would
okay.
work on it.
Scratch that. Okay. I wanna learn the guitar. I'm gonna buy this
yeah,
game. Oh, hang on. All right. So I got this game. I need to research all of the compatible guitars before I buy a guitar.
Yes.
Otherwise, that guitar will just gather some dust on my cabin.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you mean I can't just plug in this and use that?
Well,
Unfortunately,
As cute as it may be, unfortunately, Kuya Jose, no.
Yeah.
It might be a good thing to do on stream. It might actually garner audiences, but unfortunately, it will not connect with your Rocksmith. Rocksmith, I
Oh.
said, I don't know what you're connecting at me. What is it?
Oh, you know what? Fuck Rocksmith. I want to hear about that Guitar Hero guitar. All right, tell us about that. So, what's the story behind that?
It's
I
a
bought
show
it
and
What's the
tell.
story behind
my
that
job
guitar
on
of
my
yours?
first job. I bought this from
Hmm.
my salary on for my first job, and I actually liked. I saw this on the arcades in Time Zone, and even though I have this at home, I would still play on the arcades just because I could show off on expert mode.
yes,
Not
that's
to
how.
brag, but I would say I kind of forgot how to play. There's the bragging part of it when you play outside,
All
I
right,
know I
so
should have
but
so
I'm
actually
you
not
drawn
the
you with
best.
one of
so,
Just
those.
to
so
get
you
to
were
the
able to
expert
use
mode, I'm
that.
happy.
So you were still able to
Yes.
use that for quite some time. What was your main song?
For now, I'm Welcome to the Jungle
Oh.
by
Oh,
Oh
yes.
no.
Wow.
So when do we get in the Guitar Hero stream?
I tried, but it PC
What
the
what about
PS2
Symphony of
really.
Destruction? You guys should actually go for that one.
Oh,
Symphony for Destruction. Dun,
I
dun,
only
dun, dun,
have
dun,
the
dun,
Legends of
dun.
Rock,
I can't even play that on
and
an
there's a
actual
first
guitar.
song.
All right.
I can only do the Guitar Hero, but I'd love
So
to
you're
learn the actual guitar.
do you still know how to play that thing? Do you still know how to play that thing? That thing that you're holding.
I'm sure she does.
I'm sorry, the audio cut off for me. Is it addressed to me or Sir JDM?
Yeah, that's on you. Do you still know how to play that thing?
Miss
Oh,
Eileen's signal is bad right now. Anyway, yeah.
oh. Close that up, Sir JDM. Final words. Your final words
Yeah.
on your game.
Yes. So if you're into playing guitars, then haven't discovered Rocksmith yet, um, it's still no. Actually, fuck Ubisoft. They they
Uh-oh.
delisted
Wow.
this game.
A lot of f bombs on this episode.
No, and Ubisoft is going to be acquired by Tencent nowadays anyway. So
Yeah, they're in
yeah,
talks.
maybe they'll do something about that. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's the word.
they delisted this game
Mhm.
like
Oh yeah.
last year in favor of Rocksmith Plus. Rocksmith Plus was a game released like 11 years after the original Rocksmith. And what made Rocksmith Rocksmith Plus Bad is it's a paid service.
Yeah.
You can play it. You can't play it without paying a fee. So what they planned
That's
is
where the
every
rage comes
month.
from.
Yeah, it's like playing your favorite MMORPG, and you're playing your favorite MMORPG and paying a service every month just to get some DLC music.
You see,
Then
that's a problem right there. You guys know, to all of you guitar players out there, you already know how to play the guitar. Why would you even pay more for this game? Why are you even paying Ubisoft for more deals, for DLC, for songs that you can actually play in real life on your own time?
And you can
That's
just
kind
get
of like,
yeah,
yeah, going to video okay and paying for the song, even though you can just sing.
You can just sing it in the shower.
yeah, for free, right? And you can also um get this game if you have if you still have your PS3, but um there's one thing with playing the this game on the PC is that you can add custom DLC songs or games that you can chart from an actual guitar tab. That's what they call notations for playing the guitar. On you can create your own charts of the music that's not included, because when you have Rocksmith, it's just DLCs. It doesn't have all the songs. What you can do is you have to mod your Rocksmith game, then look for custom games like I mean custom songs that were made by fans. They charted it, then they transcribed it into a DLC that you can paste on the games folder, and you can play songs that you can even play like video game soundtracks if it's available.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
you played a. I requested a Final Fantasy song.
Yeah,
With this
back
game.
in 2022 when I played fan requests, viewers request. I think I played uh, the Final Fantasy 7 battle theme,
Mhm.
if I remember correctly, or was it the One Winged Angel? Yeah. So
Oh,
up until
classic.
this date, you can but up until this day, there are still people who are charting these songs, even songs that were newly released. So kudos to those Rocksmith fans who are pouring their hearts in to make this game like still relevant in 2024, because Rocksmith Plus sucks. And
The vitriol on the way he says it is just phenomenal.
It comes from the bottom of his soul.
yeah.
His
So,
black,
I
black,
got a
black
question.
soul.
Okay, ano, okay, cause GDM real quick. But so besides Rocksmith, you have played Guitar Hero, right?
I played not really, because I'm really not into rhythm games. Even I
Ah,
tried DDR. I haven't
mm.
played. I haven't really. I played the Guitar Hero, but I didn't like it because of it. It doesn't really appeal to me. It's not
Yeah,
like
cause
yeah.
sorry. The reason why I asked was because my wife just asked a question here real quick, and it says that like, Kuya JDM, have you experienced playing Guitar Hero or a similar game, and then realized that the some songs have an accurate tab to the actual bass guitar? I experienced that, and I was shocked when I tried on a bass. So, has it ever come to you that like when you're playing Rocksmith, like when you ended up playing it on your own, it pretty much is accurate to the song?
Um, what I think is if you play Guitar Hero, if you press those specific buttons, it does a sound, but it doesn't um tell you which fret number or which note you have to hit. You just hear the sound, and I think what Momo said is the rhythm or the beat where it you need to press that button.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah. It's not the actual tab, but the rhythm of um the notes that comes up on the screen. I think that's what she meant by um the tab or the bass guitar actually playing.
Gotcha.
So it's the note and the rhythm or the beat.
All righty.
Do you like playing? Start your
So
own online live streams, webinars, podcasts.
press the button by mistake. Okay, so we already reached the 2 hour mark anyway. Let's just do the ad breaks, and then after that we'll do our speed round, and then we'll head to our shameless plugs. Okay, Streamyard, hit it. God damn it.
Start your own online live streams, webinars, podcasts, online classes, and virtual presentations with Streamyard. By using Streamyard's user-friendly interface, you can also do simultaneous multi-streaming if you have accounts to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and other platforms. If live streaming is not your style, video and audio recordings are also available, especially with those who have variable and inconsistent internet connections. The finished output will still come out as clear and well articulated exactly as you originally intended. You can also customize the appearance of your presentation, like green screen effects, facial touch-ups to smoothen out those facial blemishes, multiple cameras for multiple guests joining in the discussion, your own wallpaper on the background, adding your own logo as a watermark, sharing videos from your own computer or other website for added visual aids with or without audio, uploading your own background music if you wish to set the mood when talking, and lots more. Before you can enjoy all of the wonderful full features of StreamYard, you can start with a 14-day free trial by using our link. Not only that you are supporting the Timeless Gamer Show, but you can see it for yourself how easy it is using StreamYard. Do you like playing video games? Do you like reading about history? Do you like learning about video game history? Then you should give yourself the gift of owning some video game history books from BitMap. Since 2014, BitMap Books have published numerous colorful and well-detailed hardbound books about video games ranging from the different video game consoles of old and the various video game genres that will surely pique the interest of its core fanbase. BitMap's team of global video game journalists, players, and illustrators have produced numerous award-winning titles that celebrate the software, hardware, and developers that laid down the foundations for the billion-dollar video game industry we all know and love today. International shipping is also available with careful and considerate packaging from BitMap Books. If you don't want to take my word for it, then you can believe the people, almost 10,000 satisfied customers who submitted their glowing written reviews and video reviews after receiving their books from BitMap. By ordering your first BitMap book using our link, you will also be supporting the Timeless Gamers Show in spreading our love of video games and their rich history.
All right, we'll do our quick lightning round. Let's go with Sir Jose. What do you got, sir?
I have
Just mention it in passing. Quick summary. That's it.
just Mad Maestro on PS2. It's a rhythm game. You play as a conductor. It's a lot of classical music, and the button presses are unique because it's the PS2 had a pressure-sensitive controller, so you would have to either lightly press, normal press, or hard press, depending on what color was corresponding on on the screen. So,
All right, thank you for that, Sir Jose. How about Sir Joel? What you got?
All right, me personally, I'm not a rhythm gamer, but I would actually I'm kind of surprised that Joe did not go for his rhythm game, his choice as the disco mini game in Yakuza Zero. So I'm kind of surprised at that because he just finished that one. Absolutely sure he enjoyed that one. You know, the Kiryu versus Majima showdowns. But
The stories I can tell.
sorry, what was that, Joe?
The stories I can tell. We need more than 2 hours for this.
Okay. Yeah, but in my case, I have one game that I will always go to when it comes to rhythm games. It's called Rhythm Heaven on Nintendo DS. Now, Rhythm Heaven is a game that you can that basically has. There you go. Miss Eileen is showing off her copy of Rhythm Heaven. Very good. Thank you very much. It's called Rhythm Tengoku, if I remember correctly, on in Japan. But it is a game on the DS where you play the game sideways. You know how DS games, in the Nintendo DS, is the top screen and the bottom screen right there. You flip the DS on its side and you play using the stylus, where you tap on the touch screen on the side while watching the prompts on the other screen. Now the thing is, it's very that the Rhythm Heaven is a very fun game because it uses tap and flick mechanics. You flip the stylus forward, you tap the screen to the rhythm. But the one feature about Rhythm Heaven is that it has, I will always recommend this to people, listen to the soundtrack of Rhythm Heaven. The music of Rhythm Heaven is insanely addictive. Honestly, you listen to it, you find yourself humming it even way after you've finished the game. Even my daughter Alexandria, when she listened to that game, her absolute most favorite track in the game is called Fan Club. Cue it up for all of you listening into the audio podcast or watching this podcast and replay later on. Cue it up, listen to that song, and fair warning, you're coming away humming that song for the rest of your life. That is my choice. Rhythm Heaven for DS. All right, on to the next one.
Next. If you're into disco, if you're into RPGs, if you're into rhythm games, then I got the game for you. The game is called Metronomicon Slay the Dance Floor. So Metronomicon Slay the Dance Floor, available for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch and GOG. Okay, in the game. All right. Look it up. The thing speaks for itself. I hope I can show it. I hope I can show the gameplay here. But it's a combination of all of those genres. Really, it's mainly a rhythm game, RPG second. All right. How about Sir JDM? What's your lightning round game?
For me, it's going to be Tap Revenge for iOS and Android. There's a lot of I think it was late 2000s or early 2010s when it was released. It's your typical Guitar Hero-ish game that you can play on your screen, phone screen. It had the most recent popular tracks back in the late 2000s, 2011s. And since it was in the advent of the smartphones, it's a good way to pass the time and as well listen to your favorite songs. I think I played it on a Nokia phone first. It was like it's
Nokia.
not
Holy
yeah
shit! That
that Symbian phones.
Bring back
Like
Nokia.
yeah, and
what
it's
the
I
fuck?
think
The Nokia?
it's unofficial port because it was a Java game. And then remember playing Gameloft games, Splinter Cell games where you need to install it, and then instead of the screen, you can use the keypad to play instead of the screen, because most of the Nokia phones back then doesn't have a screen. Uh, it doesn't have touch screen yet. Yeah, like the not Nokia Engage. You can play it. You can play it on an Engage if you have it, but it can be played on a simple bar phone like the 6630 Nokia 6630, but not on a 3310. So tap
You're making
prevent.
every notes on my wife right now. She's just like, oh, Nokia, engage.
Doesn't engage. All right.
Yeah.
And here I was expecting he'll say, "Oh, there's a Metal Gear rhythm game out there. It's called Metal Gear Rhythm." All right.
If it
How
does,
about-
both
how
of
about
us
you?
would have said it by now.
Yeah.
It's either one
We
of you
could have
guys.
said it by
How
now.
about- How about you,
because
Shin?
like, hey,
What's your lightning? What's your lightning round game?
Me?
Yeah. Other than DDR.
Oh
of
well.
course.
Well, of course. Okay. Well, I'm going as I'm actually now supporting the advocacy of mobile gaming. I will now promote what you call piano tiles. I'm sure most of you guys must have encountered it in phone apps here and there, but I I'm not really joking when I say it, but I really, really implore that you guys should try it out at least once, because piano tiles somehow, even though it's a very, very simple game, it still actually invokes the spirit of rhythm games, and it challenges you on how long you can actually last, as you keep on actually having the tiles keeps falling down. Or another mode that they have is that, like, the moment that you press one tile, it actually moves to the other one, so you can go as fast as you could, or you could actually just maintain your momentum. But those that piano tiles pretty much have like a lot of different versions nowadays. I believe that there's one where me and my wife Momo just downloaded like a while back, and it has like really popular songs, and it was just annoying that either you actually chip in money to actually get, here we are with like microtransactions to actually play the song, or you actually have to grind till God knows how long to unlock the song itself. But other than that, all of the free songs that they have in there, it still actually promotes as much of like rhythm game, and it's for free. So there's no hesitation to it. There's no reason for you guys to actually go and say, but I need to buy this and that. And no, you have a phone, go to the app store, piano tiles, download it, go for it, guys. I mean, it's free. That's it.
For all of you people who
Yes,
cannot afford a derivative piano out there, go get the piano tiles if you're really interested in learning the piano.
Although to dovetail to Shin's advocacy of mobile gaming, I can honestly say that Alexandria is now addicted to a game on mobile called Project Sekai. It's a game titled Project Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage. So if you guys are
I played that.
if you're looking for that is what is Alexandria is playing right now. She's getting really good at it, actually. And
Is this the season that we're going to touch mobile gaming?
well, I mean, heck, why not? Gaming is
It's
gaming.
It's
I'm platform
2024,
agnostic.
Kuya Joe.
It's
Accept
gaming.
it.
And honestly, mobile gaming is the biggest
Yes.
sector of video gaming
Right.
nowadays. It earns billions of dollars. Trust me, it's good.
Hey, I used to go against it myself, but I mean, trust me,
yeah.
after look at me now, complete 180. So
Yeah,
I mean,
there
I
you go.
support it in a way now.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, the PC Master Race is not the enemy anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like,
Mhm.
all right, Miss I.
Hey.
What's that?
War makes for strange bedfellows. There you go. Miss Eileen.
So my lightning round game is called Perfect Performer: The Yellow Monkey. This is from the PlayStation 1, and it's a game where you play as the band members of the band Yellow Monkey. If anybody's familiar, it's the one who
Yes,
sang
best J-pop. What best
Yeah.
J-pop group?
Yes, the first
Next to Glade.
ending of Rurouni Kenshin Samurai X Tactics, and also the first opening of Dragon Ball Super chose its dynamic. So
Yes.
the best I could show you here is you play as either the vocals, the lead guitar, the bass, or the drummer, and what you see is the buttons on the top bar. So you actually can choose from whether you want these three or these three or any three combination buttons you could choose on the
Yo,
options screen,
love
because
that.
it only allows you to choose between three buttons. And what makes it difficult is when there are more buttons compressed in one line, and it's really difficult to press the buttons consecutively. And also, what else? If you play well, there is like a animated sprite that you get of whether who you're playing, and you also get like I showed earlier. This is the animated sprite when you play well, and like a special effects on stage scene if you play well. But if you are losing and missing the button prompts, the audience will boo and some will throw what is the English of palanggana or batcha. They will
Basins,
throw
water basins.
the basin on you, and some will even throw eggs, but it won't be eggs per se, but actual chicks. The egg will hatch and you have a chicken on your head, baby chicken on your head.
Right.
So it's quite funny in some regard, but what you're gonna enjoy here is actually the music of this band, the Yellow Monkey.
Yes.
I
Very, very
actually
good.
don't know their other songs, but I learned their songs here, and their 90s
Yellow
era music is absolutely awesome. I'm more into J-pop,
Also,
but this J-rock
There-
band
there's
is awesome.
actual band
Yeah.
whose name's
Yeah, that's an
Yellow
actual band. Yeah. Yeah, the Yellow Monkeys. Yeah,
Oh.
they've been around for quite a long while. Yeah.
Monkey. Right. Because I look at the manual, and how come I see Slash in there?
Oh, that's not Slash. It's
No,
one
it's
of
not
it's their
Slash.
bassist. He
Oh,
I
really?
guess
Kind of look like Slash without the hat.
they look like glam rock style. I suppose.
Yeah, they are pretty much holding on to the whole glam rock thing. That's what makes them different from all the other J-pop bands, actually.
Yeah,
So basically, 80s glam rock, right?
pretty much. And
Okay.
it also shows all their music that they released. These are all the musics featured in here.
Oh, my winding road.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
so glad somebody relates.
Yellow
didn't
Monkey.
know.
It's my disco.
It's my disco. It's my disco.
That's Yellow Monkey for
So
the
you know what I'm talking
PS1.
about.
Yes,
All right.
burn,
Very
burn, burn.
Yep. Oh
Right.
God, that's another one. Jam.
All right. Thank you for all of your selections, guys. All right. So that's the show. So let's just do our quick shameless plugs, and let's start with Sir Jose. Where can they find you, sir?
You can find me on twitch.tv/darkgothic right there, right there. Anywhere on online, that's gonna be my handle. Gaming, forums, anything, that's gonna be me. I don't really have a schedule right now because I'm busy with work, but you'll see me pop up every once in a while streaming something.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Jose. And how about you, Shun?
Well, you guys are going to see me more often here in Timeless Gamers, and also looking forward to. There's going to be a lot of projects that I'm actually going to be involved with. Going to do a little bit of a shout out to some of my friends known as the Pragmarites. It's basically a mixture of pragmatic people and Marites, and I hope that most of you guys are actually watching this. Sento, if you're there, bro. Welcome to Timeless Gamers. I hope you enjoy your stay. And also want to say hi to my beautiful wife who's like watching and probably giggling on the side there. I love you, hon. Hope you have a wonderful evening. And more artworks to come for Timeless Gamers. But probably more other loot stuff as well. So there you go.
All right. Thank you for that, bro. And how about you, Sir JDM?
Yes. 123 Go. That's my handle in here on Facebook and on YouTube. And you can see me streaming in Twitch 123 Go Retro. Um, I recently got back to streaming, but it's not on a regular basis. But I'm still trying to. Maybe you can watch me play Rocksmith more often this coming weeks or days, and it's glad to be part of this rhythm game episode. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. Although I was a bit late, and
Just a little
thank
bit.
you, everyone. Just a little bit. I barely made it.
All right.
And thank you
Thanks
so
for
much,
that.
Sir Jose, for joining this, because I saw Dark Gothic Fate playing Busta Groove. Was it Busta Groove or
Yeah, it was Buster Groove too.
yes, it was. It's the first time I saw a rhythm game with a kaiju stage. He was fighting this large kaiju opponent with the dance off in New York City. So I think it was a like a first hand
Oh,
experience
that's
for me.
Robo Z, right?
Yeah, Robo Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robozy, flying to your soul. It's like flying to your soul.
Yeah. Right.
It's better than Godzilla 1997 or was it 97 or 98?
98 in Godzilla 99. All right. Thank you for that, Sir JD. And how about you, Sir Joel?
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us in the rhythm game episodes. There's a lot of other rhythm games that we haven't had the chance to discuss. They're like Taiko no Tatsujin, open source games like Frets on Fire. If you guys want, you guys can post it here on the chats here in Facebook, on YouTube, however that you catch us. You know, the chats will always be open, and discussions will always be responded to here in Timeless Gamer Show, even after the show. You'll be able to find me on the usual channels here, definitely in Timeless Gamer Show. And you'll find me streaming occasionally on twitch.tv under Banyagang Native and in kick.com under Banyagang Native banner. #FUFB, screw UFB for your extremely restrictive copyright laws. And shamelessly plugging my daughter's Girl Scout website. Alexandria Backlit's website is going to be up, and she's going to be selling chocolates, candies, and magazines for her Girl Scout troop. So I'll post the link in our chats also. Please, please, please patronize it. Buy some magazines, buy some chocolates, buy some candies, help support the Girl Scouts, and feel good in helping out my daughter Alexandria's efforts. Back to you, John.
All right. Thank you for that, Soul Joel. And that's it, guys. That's the show. Oh, hang on. Let's do the show, Captain.
Go, Captain. Let's go.
By the way, just to add to Sir Joel, if you want to buy, if you're from the Philippines and you want to buy stuff from Alexandria, you can use Buy and Ship because they also ship chocolates and cookies.
Nice.
So use Buy and Ship.
All
And for
right.
shameless plug, thank you, Dark Gothic Fate Jose, for being here. He is one of my closest friends and founder of our streaming group, Quarter Circle Forward Punch. It's QCFPX3 on Twitter. And it's the first streaming community group I was ever part of. So I'm really glad he's here. Thank you, Sir Jaden, for inviting him here. And last one, I have been recently streaming, and you can find me on Twitch. I'm streaming the OG Yakuza 1 game on the PlayStation 2. And too bad it's in English because I want to hear
Streaming their
Yakuza.
violent games.
Yes. I want to beat up virtual people, not real people, virtual people. Just for disclaimer.
Why not real? Anyway,
Because laws.
because laws. Okay, yeah, great.
Just don't get
Well
caught.
said.
And her profession doesn't allow her to.
Do
Yeah,
not
that's
the Hippocratic Oath. Do no harm.
Oh yeah. It's okay,
Because
you can fix
prison.
them after.
Because jail.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that, Miss I. And that's the show, guys. Thank you all so much for staying for this long. For the next few episodes, expect some expect some special episodes coming soon. We got Sir
Oh
Eric
boy.
Walmer coming back to the show. Um, Something related about Dungeons and Dragons. So, you know,
Here we
you
go.
know,
Here
just
we
so you know,
go.
we're not gonna say which is how are we going to do that episode, but hey, we're also going to be waiting for the Yakuza um Amazon. Is it an Amazon show? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Prime.
the Yakuza Amazon show to drop sometime this October. Will be dedicating a Yakuza episode once that drops, and we're also planning for an Atlas centric episode coming this December. Yeah,
Oh, snap.
to celebrate. They're coming to Manila on December 7, 8, and 9 at the SM Mall of Asia as well. And some other stuff. We'll be doing mobile games eventually. Okay. And we're also going to be also
He
going to be
gave
doing
in. We won.
we're also going to be doing computer RPGs eventually. Sir JDM will lead that one. And that's the show, guys. Thank you all so much. We'll let Sir Jose stay for a few more minutes after the show ends. Anyway, that's a show. And as always, our games and our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain. Hey.
Timeless. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. See you again next week. Bye.
Have a great evening, guys.